let us look at the topic indices. Now, these are also referred to as exponents. Before we actually go into looking at indices, let us see something else that will build up towards understanding indices. You know that if you have a number, and if this number is n, you can add n to itself, n plus n. You might have 3 n's to add, plus 4 n's, whatever n is. For example, a number such as 3, if you had 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, you have repeated addition. And the answer here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 3's. So you have 3 and 3, 6 and 3, 9 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15. Nice, you have 15. But then, suppose I had asked you to add 50 3's together. It would be inconvenient and a lot of hard work to be writing down all of these 3's, 50 different 3's. There must be some shortened form of writing it. Let's see. If you have 50 different 3's, it doesn't make sense to be writing 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus, and you keep going to 50 different 3's. Right? What you need to do is write it to show the 3, and then to show that there are 50 of them and they were added to each other. Don't do this. The way to do it is to say 3 and you have the 50 and there's a symbol between them. It is this symbol. It's a multiplication symbol. So you say it is 3 multiplied by 50. Right? You have 3's, you keep adding them, and you have 50 of them. And the answer is 150. It could also be considered that you have 50 to add, and there are 3 of them. So you have 53's added, but we're concentrating on the 3. So we have some 3's, a line of 3's, and we want to add them all, and there are 50 of them. Good. Now, consider that you have a number and you have to keep multiplying them. The same number repeated. So just like how we had repeated addition up here, you now have repeated multiplication. The number n times n times n times n times n, and so on. And you have a number of these numbers. So you want to show the n, you want to show how many of them are there, and you want to show that you're multiplying these n's. For example, if we use 3 again, and we have 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. Alright? Now the thing is, you, just like how you have a short way of writing down repeated addition, you also have a short way of writing down repeated multiplication. For example, suppose you have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 trees, right? You have 5 trees here. You could say that you have 3 trees 9, 9 trees 27, 27 trees 81, 81 times 3 is 243, right? Let me just check back with my calculator. Nice, it's 243. Now, the short way of writing it is this. First of all, you have what the number you're repeating in the multiplication is 3, so you have to write down the 3. The next thing is, how many trees are there? Let me, running out of space, let me just write it up here. Use a different color. So, you have to write down 3. But how many trees are there? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trees. So you write the 5. Now you have a symbol that you use to say you have trees to multiply and there are 5 of them. You have trees and there are 5 of them, but you show that it is repeated multiplication. In the case that we did earlier, the symbol looked somewhat like an X. It's multiplication for repeated addition, but how do you show repeated multiplication now? One way is to do this. It is called caret, right? That symbol there, it means 3, the repeated multiplication, and you have 5 of them. Another way to show it is to write 3 as normal, and then you write 5 as a superscript. Alright? Now, in words, in plain English, this is saying 3 raised to the power of 5. 3 raised to the power of 5. That's what it means. Now, in this case, you say that 3, the number that you're repeating in the multiplication, is the base of the multiplication, and 5 is the power to which you're raising 3, or the exponent here, or the index. That's the index. Now, index is the plural. You have one index, more than one. Indices. And there you have the name of our topic here. It's indices. So basically, the base is the number that you keep repeating in the multiplication. The index shows how many of that number you have in the multiplication. And in English you say it is 3 raised to the power of 5. Now, if you have a scientific calculator with you, in some cases you will have a button and you have the caret symbol there. In other cases, you have x and a y there. If you press a number on the calculator, for example 4, then you press the caret or the x to the y, and you press 3, it is saying 4 raised to the power of 3. You'll get the same answer as if you have 3 4s and they multiply each other, right? And what you will get is 64. It's the same thing as you have 3 4s and they multiply out each other, and the answer you get, 4 times 4 is 16, 16 by 4 is 64, right? So 4, the caret 3 gives you 64, or 4, the x to the y gives you 64. So that's an introduction to what we call indices.